From the bottom of my heart, you guys, thank you so much
Thank you for watching
for watching this guy's channel,
No, my
Jody's
God.
channel.
Jody's Corner.
No.
My favorite.
Thank you so much.
YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. Now, streaming, recording in 4K, glorious goodness, 4K 60p, 4K 60 frames a second in its glory. Shout out to the people who donate to my channel and the members of Jody's Corner who go down there, click that blue button, and the ones who buy this Jody's Corner merch. Thank you guys so very much for keeping this channel afloat. So, what we have here today is I just finished seeing it, The Mandalorian episode 4, coming fresh off of episode 3, which was the best episode in the season by far. Episode 4 is we're going on with the Mandalorian, and now he got his baby Yoda and everything's free and the people are after him, and he's finding a place to seek refuge so he could lay low for the next few months so he could go ahead and just live peacefully, let things blow over, and get back on his mission. He lands on this planet that has this civilized people who are farmers, and they are under oppression, constantly being attacked, pillaged, and robbed every so on for their goods, their food, and whatever else they have that has value. And the oppressed people seek out the Mandalorian for his help to help protect them. Basically, it's just like, all right, I'm in another place, and the Mandalorian's in another journey. It's always, every episode, he always goes somewhere, and there's always something in his way that he has to do. It's like each episode is a new story. So he decides that he's going to go ahead and choose to help these people in exchange for room and board, shelter, a place to lay low. And that's where we get the episode. So there's a couple of things that I loved about this episode. First is the comedy. This is the funniest episode of the season simply because of that doggone baby Yoda. Mother freaker, man. That baby Yoda, cute. Baby Yoda's real, y'all. And he's adorable. I don't know what else to say except that. And they're using him. Bryce Dallas Howard directed this episode, by the way. So shout out to Bryce Dallas Howard. You probably know her from Gwen Stacy from the Sony Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Or you might know her as the woman running in her high heels from the first Jurassic World movie. Bryce Dallas Howard. She did a phenomenal job, and she's thick. So I think that they used Yoda, baby Yoda, in without him being able to speak, just utilizing him to make us laugh and just, oh, she did an excellent job. And I could tell she put that cuteness in there. She really exploited the cuteness that is Yoda. So you could tell, I already know off top, Bryce, that you really love this cute baby adorable Yoda because you made him shine in the first 5 minutes of this episode. And that was lit. Love seeing more of the Mandalorian's journey. We've seen that he has a heart in this episode. We've seen that he actually has for someone who's a Mandalorian and who's a ruthless killer or a contract killer, he really has some depth to his character, and he really has a big heart. And you get more of the Mandalorian in this episode than ever before as well. So you're getting more baby Yoda. You're getting more of why the Mandalorian is the way he is. We're uncovering some of the layers. We're peeling them back to get into the core of who the Mandalorian is. We're seeing and we're being seen. We're witnessing that he actually has a heart and he has a conscience. And there's a woman in this episode that kind of gets through to him in this village. There's a woman of the village who gets through to him, and he lets his guard down, lets his defenses down. And that was pretty nice to see. I love the fact that they had this plan in order to help defend the village. I like how that was executed. I like the training montages. I like everything about this episode except for one thing that really stuck out to me. Gina Carano was in this film. I don't know if you guys know who Gina Carano is. She is, I believe, she's a former UFC heavyweight champion. I think that she's a MMA, a former MMA. I don't think she's in the UFC or like that anymore. But I know that she was in one of the Fast and the Furious movies, and she was coming at Letty, and Letty wrecked her. And I was like, how is this big woman getting wrecked by Letty? I don't like it when stuff doesn't make sense to me. So she's introduced in this episode, and I instantly was like, oh God, here they go with the propaganda. Here comes a woman and the legend that is the Mandalorian. He's one of the greatest warriors, fighters, killers. He's a legend. He got this armor. He's even bigger and better than ever before. He gets served up by a girl. That's it. Woman comes out of nowhere, beats the shit out of him. He got tracking devices in his helmet. He got flamethrowers and missiles and laser blasters. Didn't matter. She was stronger and better and smarter than him. Man, it was in that fight sequence that I was like, okay, you just trashed the whole legend that is the Mandalorian by having him take a huge L to this woman, this random woman we don't know nothing about. L. And that's going to be a problem for me moving forward. When the Mandalorian goes through tremendous feats, when people in my comment section say how awesome this Mandalorian is, yeah, he's awesome, but he got served up by a woman, though. A random woman in a bar served him up. So, yeah, how awesome is a Mandalorian when he could just go in the random bar and get his shit waxed? And that's what happened. That man got waxed. So, besides that, as when it comes to Gina Carano's character, I actually liked her. I liked her. She didn't overstay. She was her own. She had everything else except for that introduction. I think Bryce Dallas Howard and the way she handled that was a misstep for me. I really didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that could have been a random stormtrooper or any other soldier, and she could have did that and to show us the viewer that she's awesome and she can fight. But the fact that she used her skill to be displayed on the Mandalorian, I think is a bad narrative to tell. It's just bad with the story. We're supposed to be following this character to see how awesome he is, and he takes this L to this woman, and it's like, God dang, bro, you all right? You good, bro? It's like that. And that's my biggest problem. Everything else with Gina Carano's character, I loved. I actually liked her character a lot. She was heroic. She was strong and all that. It's just that introduction that turned me off. And I really am looking forward to not seeing no more stuff like that anymore in this series. I understand it's Disney. I understand it's Star Wars Disney. And I understand that there is an agenda with Star Wars and Disney to make, what do they say? I'm not making this shit up. I believe I seen an article. I don't know if it was Entertainment Weekly or what the freak it was, but I remember a huge headliner, and it said, quote, "The Force is female." Bruh. None of that shit in this episode, in this series. Please, you have something good. Don't ruin it, Disney. Please don't. John, I'm looking at you, Jon Favreau. Limit this shit. Just tell the good story about the freaking Mandalorian. Bring in more women like Gina Carano's character, but just that stuff like that introduction, just I ain't feel. Please don't. I already got trash Star Wars movies. Don't. I actually like this show. Don't ruin it, please. That's where I'm at with it, man. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know, man. I got to keep it a buck with this shit. Besides that one little misstep from the freaking introduction, basically ruining the freaking bounty hunter Mandalorian's freaking credibility to me, I still really like this episode a lot, but I gotta give it a B+, man. I got to, even though I freaking like this episode a lot. It's just, man, freak that she just brings back old memories of Star Wars of old, and I don't need none of that. Every time I look at the Mandalorian, I don't even think about the Star Wars franchise. This is separate to me, but stuff like that instantly reminds me that it's not separate. It's the same people that brought you The Last Jedi and Han Solo and Force Awakens, all that shit, and about to bring you a trash episode 9 that ruins Dark Sidious. Subscribe to the channel for more of that real content. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll see you tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time for the Just Us League live stream. If you want to say something to my face in a live chat, I invite you guys to come. Keep it respectful, though. Let's have that debate. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.